Today, we're going to talk about why housing prices are so crazy right now. Housing affordability is currently at an all-time low, and the last time this happened was in 2007. Currently, Americans are spending 40 to 45% of their income on housing alone. In order to understand the housing market, we need to take a look at the factors that determine house prices. At the end of the day, the housing market is no different than any other free market. It all comes down to supply and demand. On the supply side, it's quite straightforward. It's the total number of people selling a home in addition to the number of new homes being built. Prior to the pandemic, we were already at a low supply of affordable housing, and COVID only made matters worse. It slowed down construction in the United States. There have been global supply chain issues, which means there's less material to build homes. The low interest rates in 2021 led to a buying frenzy, and no one is trying to sell their home anymore. Everyone has locked in a low mortgage rate, and there is no intention to sell anytime soon. On the demand side, there is no shortage of prospective buyers. A recent Bankrate survey found that 74% of millennials and Gen Z still consider homeownership an integral part of the American dream. They all cited home affordability as the #1 reason why they're not going forward in purchasing a home. And let's take a moment to define housing affordability. What exactly does that mean? In a healthy economy, home prices should be approximately 2.6 times the cost of an annual salary. The average home price to income ratio right now is 5.4. And how did we get here in the first place? Well, housing prices have been soaring since 1965, up 118%, but income has only gone up 15%. The average house on the market is currently $375,000. That means to comfortably afford this, income would need to be $144,000. And the median salary right now is only $69,000. And if you look at the supply of housing that are deemed to be affordable for people making $75,000 to $100,000, there were 720,000 homes available on the market prior to COVID. And after 2021, there are only 250,000 homes left in this bracket. And to put this into perspective, there are 65 prospective buyers for each one of those homes in this current salary bracket. And in terms of location, there used to be more affordable boroughs, but now the real estate market has been affected nationwide. Currently, there are only 6 metro areas that are below that recommended 2.6 ratio of income to house prices. These cities include Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Oklahoma City, St. Louis, Birmingham, and Cincinnati. The least affordable metro areas are all in California and New York, Los Angeles, San Jose, San Francisco, San Diego, and New York City itself. And this has caused a massive shift in the national real estate market. Cities like Nashville, Dallas, and Cleveland are seeing a massive influx of people in order to balance out affordable housing. And lastly, we have to talk about inflation and rising mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are at a relative high right now, around 6%, and we've been used to 2 to 4% for the last decade. But if you put it into perspective, this is nowhere as high as it could be. Since we started tracking mortgage rates in the 1970s, the average rate has actually been 7.5%. And this current bout with rising inflation and increasing interest rates, it's eerily similar to what happened in the 1980s. In 1979, when Paul Volcker became Fed chair, he inherited an economy which had 12% inflation and 6% unemployment. He was dealing with inflation much worse than we currently see. And Volcker believed that you had to be very aggressive in increasing interest rates in order to tame inflation. And our current Fed chair, Jerome Powell, has had a very similar sentiment. He believes in a soft landing and does not want to rock the economy too quickly, but he does believe in increasing interest rates in order to tame inflation. And when you look at the effect on mortgage rates, there was a peak mortgage at 19% in 1982, but it took 10 years for that mortgage rate to dip below 10%. And again, this is just speculation, and previous history may not repeat itself, but you just have to be careful when making housing decisions for yourself. You don't want to over-leverage yourself and buy a home that's out of your means and assume that you're going to be able to refinance in the next couple of years. You have to operate under the assumption that there's going to be 6% mortgage rates for the foreseeable future, and you need to make sure your income can match that in order to afford that home. I know there was a lot of doom and gloom in this video, but I actually am very hopeful. I think Jerome Powell is doing a fantastic job of curbing inflation, and we already are seeing that in the CPI index. That being said, it's very difficult to navigate the housing market right now, and it's more important than ever to take control of your personal finances. For me personally, I'm taking this time to save up a bigger down payment for a house, pay down my student loans, and make sure I have a high savings rate. This is not the time to make luxurious purchases where you take on excessive debt. If you learned something from this video, I would truly appreciate it if you subscribed. And if you like this video, one of these other 2 videos might be of interest to you as well. I talk about investing in a bear market and the decision between buying and renting a home. Anyways, have a great day, guys. See you later. Peace.